That won't do it all. Jasper, you imbecile. Where did I put the... Oh, wait. Almost forgot that Yates is dead. That's good, actually.
Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? All sorts of things. Science, mainly. A little bit of research. If you're talking about all the dead bodies, that'd be the pink slip protocol. Right. That answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
May I suggest caution? Hallucinations can be quite tricky to navigate.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. Ugh, stale drugs. Well, what's one more disappointment anyway? Auntie Cleo instituted the pink slip protocol. Fancy marketing term that translates to, we're not satisfied with the quality of your work, so we're revoking your lifetime contracts. Can you believe Auntie terminated my entire team? It's a terrible setback. For my team, I mean, not for me. Not this time. I'll continue the work on my own if need be. I'm, working on the task that I was hired to perform. I'm fulfilling my contractual obligations. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually. I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. I'm not lying. I'm carefully curating the truth for you. All right, listen. Auntie needs to be patient. I'll eventually get around to developing Anthracillin Plus. My priority right now is sky high. Once I perfect my formula, I'll be able to keep my mind functioning at peak performance without any pesky distractions. Like feelings. Auntie had been threatening to instigate Pink Slip Protocol for months, though I honestly didn't think they'd have the stones to do it. I was on the verge of giving Auntie the results she wanted. Well, almost on the verge. Approaching the verge. The point is, I didn't think this would happen. Bureaucratic procrastination and some incompetent saber-rattling. Before I was traded, I worked on Project Gorgon. I lost that team by attrition. Management turned the screw on my team. Forced me to fire 1 in 10 researchers. The few of us that remained were overworked and exhausted. We didn't have much of a security detail. I don't know how the primals got loose, but my team didn't stand a chance. We were designing a drug the likes of which Halcyon had never seen. A veritable panacea that cured lethargy and guaranteed a lifetime of productivity. I was overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated. Forced to submit unfinished samples, failing to meet impossible deadlines. I started self-medicating to enable my genius to perform at a greater capacity. To forget, to endure, to feel nothing. Project Gorgon was in its final days when the primals attacked our lab. It wasn't long until Spacer's Choice authorized my transfer to this facility. Not at all. Such an event is incredibly rare. Few workers understand the truth of their value to society. Me? I'm worth 5 measly lab coats. Especially when I'm high. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually, I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Well, it wasn't me. I've been stuck in this place for ages. In any case, it's becoming obvious you're not listening to sensible warnings. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want.
Certain you're not all about to die horribly. Relatively.
wanted there, but I guess it worked. The facility's back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. I suppose you've got a point. Or something resembling a point. I'm emotionally addled right now, and I'm allowing my sentiments to get the better of me. Here, my personal security keycard. There's a hallway near the processing room. It leads to a security terminal. Use this keycard to unlock the hallway and disable security. Even if I wanted to talk about Project Gorgon, I couldn't. All my memories of Gorgon are intact, but they're in disarray. Like a book with its pages shuffled. Making sense of those memories requires clarity of mind. Clarity that only Sky High gives me. To tell you everything I know, I'd have to be dangerously euphoric. All right, just one inhale. Easy does it, Jasper. Have you ever seen a lake as still and clear as a mirror? That's how my mind feels right now. The disaster at the chem lab was my fault. I tested adrenatime on primals. I decimated my own research team. And I was a coward. I locked myself up in isolation. I told myself that I needed silence and solitude to perfect my formula for Sky High. But the truth is that I was ashamed. Nothing? Everything? I told myself I needed a drug to help me focus, help me work. The weight of guilt crushed my capacity to work, but if I didn't work, then I was worthless. Adrenatime was like that. It was designed and marketed as a necessity, an elixir of productivity. It made you feel guilty for not using it, and then hurt you when you used it. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. Surely you jest. Even were I inclined to teach you, which I am not, you wouldn't be able to replicate an alternative to Compound X. The compound is derived from the metabolic waste of xenocytes, a microbial life form growing beneath the surface of Gorgon. However, they're accursedly sensitive to their ecosystem. Exactly. When Project Gorgon was active, corporates' varied attempts to port xenocytes off-world killed them, every time. And even were one able to cultivate xenocytes in a petri dish, they'd need millions to refine even a dash of the compound. We mined immense amounts of Compound X directly from subterranean caverns in Gorgon. So you see, there is no Adrenatime without Project Gorgon. Did you snoop through my things? And just admit it to me. You do have gall, I'll give you that. Look, I keep a draft on my terminal where I vent my occasional frustrations with upper management. It's honestly one of my less detrimental coping methods, as I am not stupid enough to fill out the name in the address field.
Sam, I must confess, I have not been cleaned for far too long. You're sure this will... Oh, yes. That's the spot exactly. I... Why, I didn't expect you to be so thorough. I am ashamed to admit. Oh, Captain, there you are. Pardon, but perhaps you could afford... Captain, an unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. I was bluffing, Captain. When we met in Emerald Vale, my systems were not fully operational. Even if they were, I might have made an exception for you. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. That is unlikely. Judging by the state of the invading ship and the competence of the boarding party, I deduce they are incapable of paying for dinner. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, as long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Yes, Captain. I am capable of deploying the Unreliable's articulated thrusters to dislodge their ship from our own. This is a temporary solution, however. A permanent solution may require your personal intervention. I understand, Captain. Please take hold of something stable as I deploy my fly-swatting maneuver. Maneuver deployed. Enemy vessel successfully dislodged. Please be mindful of any spaceborne corpses drifting toward our hull. I am now capable of resuming navigation, Captain.
Look at these hull heads, walking around like they run the place.
Hey, you! Over here! Hey, you! You serious? Get back here! Whoa, whoa, who's this? The back bay's brat? What are you doing here?
I seen these guys around. They like to walk with cold shoulders and play at being mercenaries. What do they call themselves again? Landscapers? Green thumbs?
Gardeners! We're the gardeners. And you know this is our turf, kid. Yeah, I know that lady. I know she's looking for, solitude. She hired us to make sure no one comes sniffing around. Guess that's bad news for your plan there. Yeah, we're the gardeners. We keep order back here on these dangerous streets. Hallways. Know what I mean? Anyway, Blakesley's given us standing orders to strongly discourage anyone who tries to come in. I like to, extrapolate from there. Eyes up, people, we got trouble! Jackasses in front! Nice one, Captain!
Wasn't the best shot.
coming from the other side of that door.
Who the fuck? Oh, wait, hang on, I can't hear a damn thing. Just gonna shut this thing off. Right. Marion Blakesley, what can I do for you, Miss Home Invasion? Spacer's Choice send you? Took your sweet time. Gorgon? I holed up in a forgotten cargo bay of a rotting colony ship just so I could never hear that name again. But here you are. That bastard. Is he still only mostly worthless, or has he achieved mathematical perfection in that regard? Yeah. Most people don't change much. Clarence lacks the attention span for this sort of thing. Someone wants to dig up the past, and you're the shovel, right? Ambrose. Well, I'll assume you're caught up then. That or hopelessly confused. Corporate demanded a product they could throw onto shelves. That put the squeeze on low at Chem to develop formulas. Samples. But how do you know if the product works? You run tests, see what happens. That's where human inquiry and auditing came in. I ran HIA, and HIA ran the tests again and again and again. And what happens is a whole lot of wasted time and even more bodies. Testing supervisor. I designed the initial testing regimens, managed the staff, made sense of the test results. Tried to anyway. People are complicated, and I don't just mean the test subjects. Try and avoid working with people if you can. It always gets messy.
Also, it's nice to get paid every now and again.
Hey, it's just advice. You've heard the adverts, right? Work day and night, still feel refreshed the next morning. Now, what we tested for was dexterity, efficiency, compliance. The traits of a good employee. Numbers never came out right. I could have pumped gallons of those chemicals into every living soul in this colony. Wouldn't have changed that. What we got was marauders. Yeah, good luck making that one stick. It's in the fine print, you know. Whatever was in those chemicals, it didn't matter what tests we ran. We kept getting the same results. The protoadrena time solution was both monstrously addictive and had catastrophic effects on the psyche and intellect. A real boon to the colony. Sure, I don't mean to stop you. Indulge a scientist. What do you want out of this investigation of yours? Trying to liven up your memoir? Yeah, well, people don't tend to exhume the past just so they can bury it again somewhere nicer. How about you, kid? You've got orphan written all over that baby face of yours. What do you get out of headbutting murderous automechanicals for your captain here?
First of all, I don't headbutt. I dropkick. As for what I get out of it, I don't know. It's fun.
Hope it stays that way, kid. That's all I've got. Here, I still have this pass. Don't much feel like hanging on to it anymore. Made my exit the moment the project started falling apart. Had to steal some credentials. This should get you into the volunteer induction entrance. Please, I just messaged people with fake demands for their passwords. That's when they didn't just leave codes written down on pieces of paper. If I couldn't talk my way out past a simple facility lockdown, I'd be working for Rizzo's. That'll get you inside. What you do from there, that's up to you. Come on, I've left it behind me. Yeah, well, you have to go on, don't you? Guilt's a useless emotion. What good is thinking about the past over and over and over again? Please, I don't need... Fine. Fine, here, I remember one of my access codes. Just punch in the keypad equivalent for replication. Should get you into the offices. Maybe get you to my terminal a little sooner. Go test that persistence of yours out on Gorgon. Yeah. I'll make sure the auto mechanicals don't bother you on the way out. Sure, take it. Just drowning in dining options down here.
Everyone set you up some expense reports. That's a good boy.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
Look at these whole heads, walking around like they run the place.
We are now in orbit above Gorgon.
This ain't a proper serial adventure without a narrator. How about this?
Whatever disgusting thing this is does not bode well.
Trying real hard not to breathe in.
Welcome to Human Inquiry Monitoring, the Spacer's Choice Facility. My name is whatever your past, each of you will practice something great. Together, we will unlock the path to discoveries. Profit always.
Our brightest minds did their dirtiest work here. We made puppets of people and tested them until they broke. Walk softly, Captain. Some of them still live here.
Volunteers? Must be somewhat like how I volunteered to serve at the penitentiary.
Honestly, boss, I've seen cysty pigs with better living arrangements.
Welcome, volunteers. This office environment is where we will test your communication, paper management, and self-motivation skills. This is your time to shine. You may just find yourselves doing similar work in a real office someday. Remember, compliance with all instructions.
We are victorious.
This must be where they did their experiments. Watching the prisoners claw their eyes out, go screaming mad. Probably took notes.
Get him strapped down!
Dr. Blakeslee.
Subject demonstrates catastrophic personality collapse. Fucker bit me.
Marion.
Interesting. I think I'm going into shock.